This is the all-new Toyota Camry Hybrid. The car now gets a new bumper up front, slightly modified headlamps, and a new bumper at the back, along with more sleek tail lamps for better aerodynamics. Overall, it looks like a typical posh and upmarket Japanese car. And if you want something different from the predictable styling of the Germans, then this is a good option out there. Well, here I am on the front seats of the new Camry Hybrid, and I must say these seats are easily one of the best in this segment and at this price point for sheer comfort as well as cushioning. Well, finding a comfortable driving position behind the steering wheel is a really easy affair because the steering wheel, of course, adjusts both for reach as well as for rake, and it's electrically adjustable, so that means that it is completely hassle-free. Well, because the Camry really is the flagship from the house of Toyota, and it really is one of the better luxury cars, it comes completely loaded. In terms of safety, you get all the bells and whistles. You get 7 airbags, traction control, as well as ABS. Well, in terms of comfort and luxury, you get a cool glove box over here, which is really very big, and it can house many more bottles of this size. You also get cooled front seats, which adds to comfort on that hot and summery day, and you also get 3-zone climate control inside the Camry. In terms of practicality, you get 2 cup holders over here, you get a small tray over here, which also has the USB port inside it, and the door bins are large enough to house those big 1-liter bottles from your home in them. Well, here I am now inside the back seat of the new Camry Hybrid, and I have to say this is one of the best back seats for sheer luxury and comfort at this price point. And if you want to improve your comfort even further, then you can recline the backrest angle by a whole 8 degrees. Well, I've adjusted the front seats for my driving position, and my height for reference is 5'10", and even then I have loads of knee room and I really can stretch my feet below the front seats. But if you are someone who's taller and you have somebody who's really large and tall himself in the front seats, you still have good amount of leg room available at the back, and I'll show that to you by moving this seat over here all the way to its maximum back position, and then I'll slide over here and show you the amount of knee room that I have. So even with this seat all the way back, I've still got decent amount of knee room, and as you can see, headroom is pretty generous as well. The Camry is one of those few luxury cars which is genuinely good enough to house those tall 6-foot passengers in the back seat. Well, just like the roomy cabin, even the boot is huge. This is one of the biggest boots on any luxury car in India. It's wide, it's deep, and it's got a wide aperture as well. And what that means is that loading in those big suitcases should not be a problem into this car. Well, the Camry Hybrid is one of the best cars for long distance cruising. Well, that's largely due to the fact that there's absolutely no tire noise, there's no wind noise, and the engine noise is really very minimal. It's a supremely refined unit, and even when it is on a petrol power, this engine remains supreme in terms of refinement. That, along with those reassuring brakes and those big beefy tires which offer a lot of grip, really makes it one of the most reassuring cars at higher speeds in India. Well, even when you are in the city, this car is very nice to potter around town because the suspension really does soak in those bumps very well. Toyota have slightly modified the suspension now, and it's become slightly softer than before, and what that means is that it really does absorb those bumps at slow city speeds without any problems at all. When you start this motor, there is absolutely no sound at all because the car starts on pure electric power. When you are in the city and doing speeds of up to 40 kph, it is always the electric system which is powering this car. And if you live in a crowded neighborhood, then you have to ensure that you're always using the horn because this car is eerily silent and most people will not be able to tell that there's a car right behind them. Well, the electric and the petrol motor really do work well together in synergy, and it's really hard to tell which one is powering the car at slower city speeds, and in fact even the petrol motor is inherently quiet when you are crawling it at slower speeds in the city. Well, the steering wheel is pretty light when you are in the city, and even though it is a pretty long car and a pretty heavy car at that, it doesn't really feel its girth in traffic. And even at higher speeds, it feels relatively communicative. It doesn't really feel nervous or underconfident when you are pushing it on the highway. And that really goes to show you the amount of engineering that Toyota have put into this Camry Hybrid. Well, this big glass area up front and these really comfortable seats make it one of the best cars to spend your day in. And if you are someone who really does spend a lot of time inside his car, then the Toyota Camry Hybrid is one of the best options out there in the market. Another good part about the Camry Hybrid is the fact that it delivers stellar fuel efficiency figures. Toyota claims a figure of 19.16 kpl, and what that means is that this car can actually outclass a lot of its diesel rivals in this segment. So if you want a luxury car that truly pampers the rear seat occupants, yet delivers high fuel efficiency, but don't really want to go in for that clattery diesel, then this Toyota Camry Hybrid is the best option out there for you.